So you just run me through the same stuff you're showing me?
Yep. So back from the beginning, right? So what we covered is if you started in whatever sound generating system that you're going to use, whether it's complete, whether it's a stock sound, build it out, build all your tracks vertically. That's basically creating your hook, right? From there, you can arrange it however you want to. But like the stuff that I always try to do first, depending on the song, but mainly like my process is always do the melody first. Unless I'm doing a beat from a sample, then I might build out like some simple drums, just like a basic kick snare, just to have like some rhythm so I know where I'm placing the samples. But yeah, man, like this is right. So no samples, nothing played from or pulled from a record, no anything from arcade or splice, right? So that right there is the body of the beat. Yeah. So then remember I told you I don't like to use anything stock, right? So the next thing that I would do is come in here and just start the same process all over again, but now I'm doing effects, right? And it might be something as simple as reverb or just turning something down, right? So let's play. So it already kind of has like reverb to it, right? Yeah. But still, I wanna make that a little bit different. So what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna create a FX channel specifically for this one, and send it over there because I want to create a different feel for it. So I'm gonna take a stock. This means you can do it with anyone, right? Stock reverb, throw that on there, and now listen to the difference. As I go through the reverb, right? So you hear how like super annoying that is, right? So what I need to do is follow that reverb up with an EQ to achieve the effect that I'm trying to go for. And then all I'm doing is low cut in the EQ, right? And always do this while it's playing, right? For me, as I touch each track, I back it off 2 dB, right? So like whatever I recorded it in, whatever it came out to be, I'm gonna back it off 2 dB for mixing purposes later. They call it gain staging, right? You know, I just happen to do it this way, right? I just take whatever track it is that I built and take 2 dBs off of it. And then as I'm doing that, now that's gonna play, and I'm gonna bring in the next track.
Now, EQ that, or?
Yep, because they live in the same space, right? For like sonically, they live in the same frequency. All I'm gonna do is take that first one, the very first one that I did do some EQ into. I'm gonna pan it to the left, about 24, left 24. Right? So about a quarter, right? So without me having to do a whole lot, it already sounds a little cleaner, right? So I'm gonna do the same thing, put like the regular stock EQ on here, right? Low cut, right? And then I'm gonna roll it off because all I want is like the real high piece of that, like the beep, 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 like the twinkle. Same thing, minus 2 dB off. Ish. Next time. I kind of like what it is. Probably just take 2 dB off. That's why, because it's pretty much the same thing. It's just like another one. So because again they live in the same space. So for me, I like to pan a little bit. And I'm just going to do it so it sounds good. sounds like wider and fuller, right?
So you always adjusting while it's playing.
While it's playing. Hi-hats that I'm not gonna keep, right? All I'm doing, I take those. So when I do these, when I do my hi-hats, I start with the volume at 0. Okay? I just gotta close my eyes and listen. The clap in there. Now I'm gonna go back to the hi-hats again because I wanna listen because there's a certain level I want those to match up with like that snare a little bit. Kicks. Same thing. Roll off 2 dB. Back in here and mess with the decay and the release, right? We pretty much did everything, man. And everything is like stock still, right? So like there's other effects that I could put on there, completely change those sounds. Might even mess with like the tempo a little bit, but like that's just the basics.
I gotta figure out here where I can adjust the release and
so it should already have it down here. So decay, that's your decay right there. So what you would do is take this in on the decay, pull it out. Yep, drag it out a little bit more. That's good. All right, so play it once. Okay, right. So now where is? Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Also, you need to take it out of poly, put it in mono. There you go. Go to mod matrix real quick. No, that ain't what you want. Go to LFO2. No.
It should be mono.
Everything should be mono when it comes to your 808s. But you should have, it should be attack, decay, release, sustain. Which that's what this is. Where it says ADSR.
Yeah.
That's attack. So let's change this one. Change this one to it's already on AD. So the next one you're gonna do to sustain. Where is the click off of that real quick? Where's you see one that has a sustain? It's this one. It's the last one. See where the S is? Click on that and take that down to 0. You should be able to write the number in there. Just double click the percentage and type 0. And then hit enter. Okay. Now go to the R, the release. That's good. Go to decay where it says 0. Where the decay says 0. Here, let me give you a decay, a good decay. Go to type in 1.194. Enter. Okay. And then what do you have left down there? The release. So the release, put your release on 50.7.
What's the H? Or anything? That's nothing.
Shouldn't be an H in there.
Yeah.
It's active anyway. Right? So all of that stuff like the release. So let me show you. Let me break down. Let's solo just the 808 so I can give you this example. So while you're messing with it, right? So watch this. I'm gonna pull the decay. I'm gonna show you what each and every one of these buttons do. So we'll pull everything up right here because the first one I'm gonna show you what it does is the attack. So you hear boom, 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 right? Now watch what happens when I raise the attack. You don't hear the impact point, right? Right? So 0 on the attack. All right. If you're gonna do any, maybe like super slight. Right? If it's like super snappy or gritty, like a tiny bit on the attack will work. All right. So now we're gonna talk about decay, right? So now decay is like how much of the sound is actually true to the waveform before it wears out, right? So the longer the decay is, the more of the true sound of the waveform is going to play. So if I crank it all the way up, you're going to get the most of it, right? Based on how much release I allow, right? So the decay is up. Now watch, I'm going to put sustain up behind it, which means it's going to hold on to the key and the notes that exist within the waveform for longer, the longer the sustain is. And it's going to sound terrible, right? I always run 0 attack, 0 sustain, and only mess with the decay and the release. So I'm going to do a moderate decay right there, 918 milliseconds. And then I'm going to start my release at 0 and then gradually bring it up and look at the time between each notes, right? Because just as important where these notes start, it's important to where they end, right? Right. So don't sound that great right there, and not being in context with the music. See how the space between this note and that note, watch how it gradually fades out. So that's good timing, right? But if I had the release longer, it would almost sound like that next note, because the mono instantly cuts my 808 off and it doesn't mesh up well. So that's pretty much it, bro.
It's a lot, man.
It's a lot, man. But like once you like really dive into it, bro, like, you know, it is what it is. You just gotta play the game.
That's it, dog. Go back to the lab.
Appreciate you, my brother.
Appreciate it, man.
We out here.